back again. We're talking about Archimedes' principle in liquids. What about in the atmosphere? We talk about fluids. Well, fluids can be gases or liquids. Archimedes' principle is operable in the atmosphere as well. So you can have buoyancy in the atmosphere. You can have lower density objects being buoyed by the higher density objects. For example, warm air buoyed by the colder air. That's one of the aspects of a hot air balloon that most people don't talk about. They just talk about the lower density gas inside the balloon, and then that's about it. Well, the fact is there are two effects. So we've got a couple of hot air balloons that you can probably make at home, and got some interesting things to do. So one of these things, and again, it's the weight of the displaced fluid. That's proportional to the volume of the displaced fluid. Again, fluid in this case is a gas. So the body is going to be buoyed by a force equal to the weight of the fluid it's displacing. It's buoyed upward. And of course, if its average density is less, which in this case, a hot air balloon average density is less than the surrounding media, it's going to be displaced as well. So let's try this out. You need a hair dryer. Okay. You've got a soda container. In this case, I've got a soda container with a little hole in it. The reason I have a hole is because I want to put the hair dryer in here. So the hair dryer goes in here. And around the container, I just take some paper mache and a little edge here that will help support it and put it over the container. A little pointy, sort of like a rocket at the top, will help it point so that it's going to be going upward and kind of spiraling sometimes. It will help stabilize it a little bit. So let's try this out. I'm going to put in some warmer air. Again, this balloon, we'll call it just a balloon, fills with the warmer air. The warmer air is less dense than the colder air. And then as it launches, right, of course, we've got the air current here. It's not the warm air that's getting it to launch. It's the air current that we have here. But once it's launched, it's going to be buoyed by the colder air. So buoyed up, buoyancy by the colder air. So let's see what we can do here. Kind of launches like a rocket. I really enjoy doing this. It's kind of fun to do. So we've got warmer air coming in. So we're pushing the colder air out. Warmer air is going in. Let's see if we can get a shot of this as we launch it. And ready, 1, 2, 3. Oh, wow, so that was kind of neat. And sometimes it comes right back to you. How convenient. Let's put it on again, and we'll try it again. So it launches. It's buoyed into the atmosphere at the end, right? It's launched by the flow of the stream, but buoyed at the end by the colder air surrounding the warmer air. Let's try one more try. And here we go, and whoa, hey, wow. Kind of neat, huh? Let's go one more right into the camera here. I'm going to see if we can launch it forward as well. So let's put it back, one more try. And then I've got a hot air balloon that you can put a gondola and try that out. So here we go. And I have another neat way to play around with Archimedes' principle. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there we go. Okay, so another one. Again, as we go higher into the atmosphere, I've got my ruler, we go higher into the atmosphere, the pressure above us is lower. So eventually there's a ceiling that you can't go any higher with a hot air balloon. It's just not going to, it's a rarefied atmosphere. You're not going to have an atmosphere that you can operate in. So eventually you can't go any higher with a hot air balloon, or a helium balloon, or any balloon for that matter. Okay? Now, here's one. I've got the materials you can put together. Here's the final product. Kind of looks neat. Let's put a little warm air into it. By the way, this is a vegetable bag you can get at the store. I cut a hole in the top so I can allow the colder air that's initially in the bag to come out. I want the warmer air to go in the bag. Warmer air is less dense than the colder air. So this less dense air is going to be in the bag, and then it's going to be buoyed by the colder surrounding air. So let's see if we can get this to fill up a little bit before I start it up. Let's try this out here. I just want to stretch it out a little bit. Okay, there we go. Stretch it out a bit. All right, and then I've got a little container here, whoops, a gondola, and it kind of goes there. But let's show you how to make one of these, and then we'll get to play with it a little bit. So the first thing you need to do is go to the grocery store and eat the vegetables, please, or the fruits. It's up to you. Fruits, vegetables, good for you. And you put them in the bag. You bring them home. Take out the bag, or just get a new bag, I guess. Get one without water in it, or dry them out. So you got the bag. What we're going to do with the bag is attach it to a ring. All right, so we've got a ring. Actually, you need a couple of pieces of paper. So you get some 8.5 by 11 paper, 2 strips, all right? Then you take those 2 strips, tape them together, form a little ring, all right? So with this ring, we're going to take the plastic bag and wrap it around the ring. So that's really all I did here. Wrap the plastic bag around the ring, all right? As far as this gondola is concerned, all right, here's the gondola. As far as that's concerned, that's easy too. That's just some 8.5 by 11 paper that I fold into 3s, all right, 1, 2, 3. So once it's in the 1, 2, 3, now you can see, of course, how I'm putting the gondola together. I just take that and do a few cuts. So simple cuts here. Let's see if I can fold the paper here. So sort of folding it together. So I end up folding it together. Got the sides of the gondola. And the bottom part, you really don't want this to be too heavy. I was actually keeping it like this and then seeing if it would help stabilize this as it moved. You might want to try it out. So you just put tape on the sides, right? So try to not make it too heavy. So tape it up, and then you've got your string, right? So you've got your string, and then you're going to have the sides of the gondola with the string so that you can attach the gondola to the balloon, right? So here's our hot air balloon, if you will. And a little hole in the top so that we can blow the colder air out and inflate the balloon, and it simply is ready to go. It's a little bit too heavy, right? But we can kind of have fun with it by taking a string, putting it on the top of the balloon, hooking it up to a stick, and then we can play around with it with the hairdryer. So the hairdryer is going to inflate the balloon, and we sort of have some control here. And there are some points while we're doing this that you'll see the balloon will inflate, and you'll see the buoyancy effect, and then of course it'll stop, and then you'll see it again as you put the hot air in. It's kind of neat. So let's take a look. Not perfect, but we're looking for some fun with some science here. All right, so there you go. See the buoyancy, sort of the lift that you see? There you go. See that? And then another. Sometimes it turns a bit. And there you go. See that? Very subtle, but it works. There you go. And then 1, 2, 3. Kind of good for hand-eye coordination. There you go. There you go. See that? And 1, 2, there you go. See that? There's the lift that's involved. It's not me pulling it with the string. You can see the buoyancy. There you go. So try it out. See you in the next segment, Dr. Bone Show. Up, up, and away.